Hello everyone. So in the last video I have explained the declarative configuration of a data structure. Today in this video I'm going to cover how do we programmatically configure our data structure. So let's start. First of all, I'll just create one more class file. So we will use map data structure and I'll show you how we can configure our map data structure programmatically. But before doing that, let's create Hazelcast instance. Before creating the instance of Hazelcast, we will have to configure our map, and then we will have to pass that config object while creating the instance of Hazelcast, so that configuration gets added into the Hazelcast instance. So first of all, we will just configure our maps. For that, we will use map config class. In most of my videos, I'm going to explain with using map data structure. So the same things can be applied on other data structures as well. The way in which I'm applying these concepts on map data structure, in the same way it can also be applied on other data structures. But still, if you find any issue while doing that, just let me know in the comment section. I'll make a video on that also. So I've created a map config object, and here I'll pass the name of the map for which I want to configure. The name of my map is my map. Now what I just did, for my map I just created a config object, and for that config object I'm setting the backup count as 2. So what this will do for my map data structure, the my map would have two synchronous backup counts. If you want to set up asynchronous backup count, then also you can do that using async backup count. You just pass the value, let's say its value is 2. So for now I'm just setting these two configs. There are other configs as well. Let me just show you. Set entry listener configs, eviction percentage, eviction policy, in memory format. So these are all the other configurations that you can set as well programmatically. But for our demonstration, I'll just configure these two things as of now. Now once my map configuration is done, I will create one config object. So the above was for map config. Now I'll create one config object, and to this config object I will add my map configuration object. So first of all, I created a map config. I configured my map accordingly. Then I created a config object and I added my map config object to this config object. Now, so we are done. Now what we will do when creating the instance of Hazelcast, I will just pass the config object in this method. As soon as this Hazelcast instance would be created, all these configurations, backup count and async backup count, would be applied to our map named my map. So now what I will do, I'll just create a map with name my map. I have given the name of the map as my map, and so I've created a map. Now what I will do, I'll just put some values in that map, or maybe I'll just set a value because I don't want the previous value. So I'll just use the set method, and then I'll just print the value. So the logic after setting the configuration of our data structure could be different. This is just an example, so I'm trying to make the example as simple as possible, but the logic of your application would vary. But right now we are not developing any application. I'm just showing you the example of how we can programmatically configure our data structure. So that's the reason of taking such a simple example of map. So this is how we configure our data structures programmatically. I'll just run this program. It's printing whatever value we have passed into the map. This is how we programmatically configure our data structure. Now in case if you want to configure your queue, in that case you can use queue config class, and then you just pass the name of the queue for which you want that configuration. If you want that configuration for your default queue, I mean for all the queues, then you can just pass default here, so that configuration would be applicable on all the queues. and then you just create config. So now what I'll do in this program, I've just added a configuration. I have just printed some value, but this example is not exactly, how would you know that okay, this configuration has been applicable? So for that I will add one entry listener. For this my map, I'll create one entry listener, and then I will just configure that entry listener in my map, and then I'll show you how it is going to work. uh, Entry listener I'll be covering in detail in the next videos, but right now I'll just take an example. So just consider that entry. In short, I can tell you that entry listener is something which is called when which is called implicitly when something is inserted, something is added, something or updated or removed from a map. When some entry is added or updated or removed in a map, in that case entry listener methods are being called. So this is the short definition of an entry listener. So I'll be explaining entry listener in detail in later videos, but right now let me just create one entry listener and show you an example. I'll just create one entry listener. So these are all the interfaces: entry added listener, entry updated listener, and entry removed listener. So I'm just implementing all these interfaces, and I'll just implement all the methods which are present in those entry listener, and these are the methods which you have to implement. Entry removed, so whenever any entry would be removed from a map, this method would be called implicitly. Whenever any entry would be updated in a map, then this method would be called, and whenever any entry would be added, then this method would be called. For right now I will just in these methods I'll just simply use I'll not be doing anything. I'll just be printing something. I'll not be putting the exact logic of entry listener. But just to make the example simple, I'm just showing you how exactly the entry listener are getting called and how exactly we programmatically configure the entry listener to our map. Okay, so this is our entry listener. Okay, now this is the name of my entry map listener, or you can say entry listener, and this is what we will have to programmatically configure to our map. So I'll go back to our main class, and here I'll just add I'll use the method add entry listener config, and inside that config I'll just create an object of entry listener config, and then I'll pass the fully classified name of my entry listener. So my package name is hazelcast tutorial. So I'll have to pass the fully classified name of my entry listener, and my class name is my map listener. So this I've passed, then I'll pass. I was getting some error, right? So I just imported the package, this entry listener config, and the error was gone. So what I'm doing, I'm just creating an object of entry listener config, and I'm passing my entry listener fully classified name of my entry listener, and then I'm passing true and I'm passing false. So this true and this false is basically this method, this class basically accepts three parameters. So you can see the first parameter is local and the last parameter is include value. So just a second, yeah. So we have to pass true for include value, and we have to pass false for local. So what this include value and local boolean variables are, I'll be explaining in my next videos when I'll cover the entry listener in detail. So right now you just understand that this is how we create an entry listener, and the main thing is this is how we add our entry listener. We are configuring our entry listener to our map config object, right, programmatically. So it's done. Now let me just explain you what will happen whenever I'll run this program. So what we are doing in this program is we are just inserting one value, right? So whenever we will insert some value, the entry added method of this map listener would be called, and this statement would be printed. And we have done the configuration of this entry listener programmatically, right? So let's run this. See, entry added called, and then this value has been printed. Whenever we are inserting a value, in that case entry added method is implicitly called, and this is getting printed, and then our print statement is getting executed. And this example also, with the help of this example, you can also verify that whatever configurations you are doing for your my map, those configurations are getting applied to your map, right? Because we have created an entry listener and we have configured our entry listener to our map. That's why this value is getting printed. If I do not write this statement, in that case this entry listener would not be called. So I hope you are clear with how we can programmatically configure our data structure. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment. And as far as entry listeners are concerned, I will be covering entry listeners and their implementation in detail in the next videos, so don't worry about it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.